Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wisteria Rose and I am an independent author of 2 self-published books. The first, which is Mythomania, which will be turning like a year old in January. I can't believe it. And the second one, which came out a few months ago in September, Intro Laconic. And today's video, I'm just going to be talking about my experience with NaNoWriMo, since this was my very first time participating in the challenge, things I liked about it, things I didn't like, as well as just like updating you about my progress. So I would first like to say that yes, I'm a winner. I won it. I managed to write and surpass the 50,000 word count. That is the NaNoWriMo goal, and I'm so glad because I honestly did not think I'd be able to do it. 50,000 words is a lot of words. It is, you know, a full-length novel. So big round of applause to me and to all of my other friends and all of you, if you're watching, who did the challenge, won the challenge. And even if you didn't win the challenge, just putting yourself out there and trying it, I'm really proud of you. Because it was very stressful some days. Some days I couldn't write anything. Some days I wrote a ton. It was just, back here, actually, you have a lot of my word counts. I know you can't really tell them, but some days I literally got like 300 words, and some days I got 4,000. So it just really depended on my mood, and if I was like watching other streams with other people, or if I was like writing with my own friends that day. So there's a lot of stuff. But besides that, I want to talk a little bit about my project that I was working on for NaNoWriMo. So even though I won Nano and actually surpassed it, I ended up with 60,007 words total. So I smashed past the 50K limit, and I even managed to go 10K more. But I'm writing the second book in my sidereal series, which is actually, I've told you guys the names of it, I believe. So here it is. Here's the name of the book, and I am so excited. But I really wanted to finish it either like the first week of December, which is this week, or in November. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. I'm not sure, so I may have to adjust my schedule a little bit. If you haven't already signed up for my newsletter, please go ahead and do that down below. That way, when I'm looking for my beta readers and stuff like that, you guys will be notified and you can join me and help out in this project if you would like. So I've been very excited. I've gotten through a large majority of the book, definitely. And it's coming to last. There's about like a month and a half-ish or 2 months left in the storyline, and there's a lot of big things that have to happen. So I'm going to be writing them, and I'll be very excited to do them. So hopefully I'll be doing some more streams this month in December as well, because I didn't really do that many. I did one stream. I did one stream for Nano, and I basically just joined everyone else's instead. Just because, you know, when you're not the one who has to talk and do all this sort of stuff, you can get stuff done more often. But I did have a fun time streaming with Brittany. It was a lot of fun. I'll probably stream with some of my other friends and Brittany again soon, because I really enjoy it, and it's really nice to talk to other writers. But yeah, so Nano was definitely a challenge. It deserves a lot of, you know, challenge. It definitely was. But before Nano started, should this be like my tips for winning or whatever? I don't know. But what I did is, before I started Nano, I already knew my story idea, and I already had a good idea of what everything I wanted to happen was. So then in my handy little spiral notebook, you can't see because it's over there, I did a general outline of the story. And I did hit 2 big, I'm not gonna say writer's block exactly, but phases in the book when I was really struggling with trying to get past that and make it good, because of course it doesn't have to be perfect. It's the first draft, but the more perfect it is on the first draft, the easier the whole rest of the publishing and editing and all of that will be. So I managed to push through the first one, and then with the second one I had to look at my outline and realize the entire tone of the book that I originally intended it to have was going to be different than what I was actually writing, which I think ended up being for the better anyway, because If you haven't read the first book, this isn't really a spoiler since you find this out in the beginning, but Venus and Taein are soulmates, and I had a idea of how soulmates would treat each other, and in this book it wasn't how I wanted it to happen. So I am keeping the same big main plots, but I'm really adjusting like the emotional reasonings behind them. I think that's what I would call it. So yeah, it wasn't super easy. I know some people started with books that they had already like started beforehand, and just like if they were 20,000 words into it, they wanted to get 50,000 more on top of that. I've seen some people just start writing and hope for the best. And I think it really depends on you and what your goals for Nano are. If it's something that you really want to take seriously and definitely win, or if it's something that you're just doing with your friends or for school or for whatever, it's all very different. So don't beat yourself up no matter how you performed with Nano. If you didn't win, there's always next year, and I believe they do like 2 camps, which I think are basically just NaNoWriMo again, but like earlier in the year. So I should be doing those as well because I had a lot of fun, but I had so many headaches. I had a headache almost every single day, and with the seasons changing and everything and the air pressure, they just made it all worse. And I also had to do midterms and preparing for finals, which is what I am going to be doing this week, and next week are my finals, and then my first semester of college will be done. I'm so excited. That makes me feel so old. Do I look old? I feel like I don't look old enough to be in college. But yeah, so I am super proud of myself for doing this because I've always been someone who was not good at schedules. So even if I could post stuff on a schedule, like I can do my Patreon post on schedule or Tumblr post or whatever it is, I couldn't write on a schedule. So those 4 chapters for that month may have ended up with me writing 2 of them back to back, and then skipping 2 weeks and then writing 1, and then writing the 3rd one the very last day it needed to go up or whatever. So I'm not someone who is really good with doing stuff like daily or however often it would take to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, or getting super high word counts. Like when I just normally write fan fiction and stuff, I end up with chapters that are usually like between 1,200 and 2,000 words, which I know to some people is just ghastly and horrific, but everyone writes differently. Sometimes your chapters may be super long, or they may be super short. So with Nano, it was kind of hard for me because I'm used to writing an entire chapter in one go. So that's why they ended up being so short, is because I would write a chapter and leave it at a place that was easy for me to pick up next time, and do that until I was all the way done with the book, which is how Mytho and even the first version of Laconic, the first book in this series, Laconic, have a lot of chapters. Like I believe they both have 40 something chapters, and some of them are very short just because it's easier for me to write this way. And all of these originally had significantly more. Like I believe Laconic had like 75 chapters or something initially, just because I write in that stop and go short sort of vibe, you know. So it was difficult. It was really difficult, but I had a blast doing it, and I would definitely do it again when I get the chances to. I enjoyed like being part of something, you know, especially during quarantine when everyone is keeping their distance as they should and not going outside. You don't really have the opportunity to meet new people or to really interact with people. But because there were so many different streams going on and so many people I knew who were writing, I had a lot of fun feeling like I was connected to other writers and that we were all pushing towards something together, that we all had a common goal to achieve. So that was really fun, and honestly I would definitely say it was a great experience. I would probably change the way I like did this a bit, because at some point I like accidentally stopped counting my daily word count, so it was kind of a mess to figure out mathematically, but I did end up, you know, surpassing it and everything, so it ended up not being that important in the long run. But just trying to keep a clearer list of goals and stuff. And also I was really worried because I want to have this book out late March, the next book to the Stereo series, just so I don't leave you guys waiting so long. And I wrote it in Nano, so most of it is done. But the ending bits has some of the most important twists and reveals and stuff that happen, and it's very important to me that I get it done in a way that you guys would enjoy reading, that the readers would think makes sense and everything. So I don't want to rush myself, nor do I want to rush like my betas or editors or whoever else I'm working with. But at the same time, I know I'll be very disappointed with myself if I end up having to push this goal back. Like if this book ends up coming out in April instead of March, even though that probably doesn't make much of a difference to you guys, it makes a difference to me. So yeah, that's basically it. That's how I felt about Nano. I did win it. I had a ton of fun. I did have many sleepless nights and lots of headaches, but you know what? I would definitely do it again. And if you haven't done Nano, if you missed it or if you haven't heard about it or anything, I would definitely invite you to join it next year, either with the camps that happen, I think in like April is one and June is another. I could be totally wrong, but they happen earlier in the year, or in the one that's next November, because I had never done it either and it was so much fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize for my videos being kind of all over the place. Like I said, I've been working on the Nano stuff and also schoolwork and everything, but hopefully I will be able to post videos more often here on YouTube, especially since I'm taking this month off from Patreon and stuff to, you know, finish working on this book. So yes, hopefully there will be more announcements with this book coming later this month. So again, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, please do that. It's down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.